up for each year. The ambassador warming up for his big game. All right, folks, here we are again with another Band Packer report, and we have a special edition this week. We're interviewing Coach Joe Greco of the BAM and of many leagues, plays in the Philadelphia League, many tournaments, and as you know, most recently visited the Rochester area and the home of LaRue and the Charlotte Electric Football League, a 30-year-long football league. And we just thought we'd ask Joe a few questions about his travels up there, as well as a few other questions about some of his other games he's recently taken part in. So Joe, tell us first of all, what made you want to go visit the boys in Rochester?
Well, for my job, I just happened to be up in Buffalo that week, and I called John DiCarlo LaRue on the chat board and asked him if I could stop by on that Wednesday night. He told me that just so happened to be the opening night of the league, and I'd be more than welcome to come. So I thought that would be a great opportunity to visit the subterranean field, which was unbelievable, and I was very happy that I was able to take him up on it.
And we're here in the Toy Whiz with Joe today. We have Big Apple Miniature Football League games going on today. Joe, tell us a little bit about Subterranean Stadium. We've seen some great pictures on our MFCA site that you very graciously posted. But tell us a little bit about just the atmosphere that you experienced there personally.
The atmosphere is something that everybody should experience at least once in their life. I mean, it's more like you and I were discussing earlier. It's more like a club than a club atmosphere where everybody is friendly. There's a lot of good-natured ribbing going on. There's 3 tables set up at all times, so you have 3 games going on. But the atmosphere itself is just very, very warm, and it's all about electric football. The walls are adorned with scoreboards and listings of the games to be played that night. They have the standings. And there's just a ton of electric football stuff on display, from figures and bases and everything you could think of. It's more like a museum. It's just great.
Sounds great. Now, we understand that you had a chance to scrimmage a little bit and try out their style of play and rules. Tell us a little bit about their style of play.
Yeah, it's very interesting. They're obviously been around for 30 years, and they've done a lot of tweaking. I would imagine over those 30 years to come up with a rule set that they truly enjoy, and it's just a lot different. They play 35-minute running halves. When the 35 minutes runs out, you have 5 more plays. There's no adding plays for timeouts. Everybody, gets, has, the games will take less than 2 hours actually, which is great. And as far as the rules go, there's just a lot of little differences. There's no adjustments at all. Once you set your offense and your defense, the play is run. If a guy hits a pass, the defense doesn't get to adjust. So there's a premium on being set up in the right defense to start each play. They start each series at their own 20-yard line, so there's no kickoffs. But there's a lot of good talent in that league. From what I could see, the guys have been playing a long time, playing together, and the premium really is on having a good time. There's food, there's a refrigerator full of the drink of your choice, and the guys just all enjoy each other and have a great time.
Well, it sounds like an outstanding experience, and of course your pictures online really just make people want to keep looking at them. Now, we know that your business, your outside of electric football life takes you all over the country traveling, and I would just tell us about some of the places this year alone that you've been able to get in some games in addition to Rochester.
Yeah, this year I was able to I was able to get out to California on 2 separate occasions, where I was able to hook up with some of the great guys out there. Cello, Eric Robinson, Nejahana, Rick Garrison. I was able to, spend some time visiting Vince Petros. I guess I'm allowed to still say his name. Which was actually a great experience. I went to his garage and he showed me a lot of things that he has done, and he was very hospitable, and it was actually a great visit there. I went to Illinois, and I was able to hook up with Michigan Joe, one of the great guys in the hobby. I'm actually going to be out there again in about 2 weeks, and we're going to hook up again. So Joe just showed me some great things about how to get your board to run right, and what he does with custom figures, and just very, very knowledgeable, and a guy that likes to share. So that just really, really good. So other than that, I've been to a few other places I can remember off the top of my head, but my job kind of takes me all over the map.
Yeah, I think you were also at the MFCA convention, I'm sure.
I don't want to forget. I spent time in Minneapolis, where I was able to get a game in with Mike Gutman, as well as Tom Rusing, Minneapolis Tom. So we played the shootout style prior to his entry in the Great Lakes Region League this year. So that was good for both of us. I got some good scrimmaging in, and Tom got a little familiarized with the rules before he went out there. So that was another good visit. Yep.
How are you, with all these travels and the business you have to do, it seems like it must take a lot of dedication to be able to fit in some of these side trips to play a game or two. How do you manage that during your schedule?
Basically, I blow off my customers in the evening. So instead of going to a dinner, I play electric football. So yeah, sometimes I can do that. Sometimes if I'm traveling with my boss, I can't do that. So usually I'll try to contact a coach ahead of time. Say, here's when I'm going to be in town. You have a chance to get together. If you do, then I'll bring a team. Whether it's a 3.3 team or a 4.0 weighted team. I try to plan ahead and see if somebody's actually available. If I know I'm going to have a night open. Sometimes I have a rent-a-car with me, so I'm able to drive somewhere. On other trips, I don't. So then, if a coach can come, see me in my hotel room or whatever to play there, we'll do it that way. But I do a lot of traveling, which it's tough. It's tough on the home life, and I'm away from my son Zach a lot. So you try to make the best of it by getting in some electric football when you can.
Now, you're off to a great start this year in the BAM. Your Jets are undefeated, and you have a pretty tough matchup today with the Raiders, but I believe you beat them earlier this season. What are you expecting today from the Silver and Black?
Well, first of all, the thing about the BAM is the talent level. There's a lot of talent in the BAM. There's not a lot of difference separating the top coaches, as you work your way through the league. So on any given day, anybody can beat anybody, and it's going to be interesting to see how the playoffs shake out. And then you have the box, which also adds that element to the game that can change things. So early in the year, I played Morgan, and it was a tough game. It was close early, and I think I ended up winning by about 10 points. So Morgan's been getting better and better as the year goes on. He's been practicing on his passing. So I'm expecting a very, very difficult game today with the Raiders. We know each other, and Morgan's a student of the game. And the last time we played, he gave me some wrinkles, that we talked about afterwards. That he knows how I play, so we had put some things into his game plan to, try to take certain things away from what I like to do. So it's kind of like a real chess game when I played Morgan, because we're very familiar with each other. So it should be a great game.
So, Joe, we got one final question for you. We'd like you to share with the other MFC coaches just one little tip that's helped you achieve your legendary prowess in the game.
First of all, there's no legendary prowess. That was a good one, though, Bob. I spend time on my special teams. I think that's kind of an unsung thing that goes around. Number one, I make sure that I have a field goal kicker that can make field goals, a very, very high percentage of the time. I see a lot of coaches come, they don't have a kicker, they don't have a reliable kicker, and that's something that everybody should have, is a great kicker. There's nothing more frustrating than going down, getting into the scoring area, and coming away empty. So I always try to make sure that I get points on the board. And just kick returns and defending the kick. I really spend a lot of time having fast guys that'll go down. And on the kick returns, I see a lot of coaches that try to set up blocking, have guys doing different things. My strategy has always been to just try to take out as many of the guys coming down the field as possible, trying to leave openings for my return guy to be able to run. So I spend a lot of time on special teams. I know to me personally, there's nothing more disheartening than putting a drive together, getting a score, and then watching the other coach return the kickoff for a touchdown and getting the points back immediately. So I do everything I can to prevent that and to be the guy that scores on special teams.
Well, Coach Greco, thank you very much for sharing some of your experiences on the road with miniature football, and good luck in the rest of your BAM season.
Thank you, Bob. Good talking to you. Take care, everybody.
All right, folks, thanks for joining us, and look for our next feature.